Good evening. This is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the Bigger Picture webinar for the evening of Wednesday, the 26th of February. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer trend charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Okay. We had buy signals running for most of the week. We almost reached the possible near miss target and arguably have reached it on ES with this 100 handle rally up from 59.25 area to 60.25 area. NQ, again, we had a buy signal. That one hasn't made target yet, but I've got more to say about this. But I'll have a look at the signals first. We've made the possible near miss target on the IWM. And we've got potentially, I'll just draw in the line here. This is a potential inverted head and shoulder neckline, right? Nice looking right shoulders. We could see a rally direct from here, and I've got a couple of ideas about that, but I'll just go through the others before we get to that. Okay, let's have a look at YM and YM. We had a double bottom that broke up and has returned and basically come back and pretty much retested the low, although not quite. We made the possible near miss target. I've called that one, I think. I think that's probably good enough, and I'm half tempted to call a couple of the others. But I think on YM, we've got a potential larger double bottom here, and I'm wondering if that might play out. DAX and the ESTX, both of them had head and shoulders, both of them broke down, both of them have failed. And likely have retests coming at the highs, or at least that is the obvious next target. So that's where we are on that. Looking at the pattern structures here, this looks, if we find a low here and we go up from here, then we could well be forming a bear flag. Now, I was wondering if we were going to wait, because so far we've had a couple of days where quite a lot of positive divergence, and nothing really was happening to the upside. We've seen a bit of upside here, and we've come back down again, and that's largely played out the hourly buy signals on the futures. But in terms of the pattern setup, I am wondering about an ABC bull flag. We could come back down, retest the lows here, potentially get a double bottom, but I am wondering about A, B, C, maybe get up into the 60-50 area on ES. And I got to say, so far, it looks like a part-formed bull flag on NQ as well. RTY, this looks like an IHS at the moment. If that broke up, that would have a target in about the 22.45 area. On YM, we got a potential double bottom here. So these don't look like flags, but these two have been the weakest, and ES and NQ have been the strongest. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. SPX, we touched the 3SD lower band yesterday. Generally speaking, that's going to give us a couple of days of rally. Might not be the case this time. Obviously, we're in a very, very, very high news environment here. But I'm liking more of a rally here. That rally may wait until we've had the very bearish stats on Friday out of the way, and I am wondering if we might therefore be forming a bear flag, which would then come back, retest the lows on Friday, and potentially set up a larger rally for next week. So that's kind of penciled in as a distinct possibility. Where would we be going if we did see that rally next week? And I'd be looking really for a test of the daily middle band. I've got that at currently in the 60-53 area. And that is, the question is, can we convert we've got a couple of levels to convert here if we're going to see a serious downtrend. The first one is the daily middle band. The second one really is the weekly middle band. Now that we haven't broken on a weekly basis so far. We might do that this week, but of course, first you see the break, then you see whether it rejects the following period, which would be next week. So whether it can hold below. But the smaller level which needs to be converted is the daily middle band. The larger level is the daily middle band. The larger level is the weekly middle band. In terms of the monthly middle band, we are nowhere near it. I've got that currently at 5,200. But the weekly middle band, that's being tested right now, and on NDX, that's also being tested there. And that's a big, big level. And you can see on NDX how big a level that is. And we've had, there have been moves below it, but again, we saw a break below, rejected the following week. We saw a break below. And then a continuation down to the daily lower band, and then we saw a significant low there, saw a break below, rejected the following week. So, I mean, these things do tend to follow a clear sequence. So I'm watching to see whether we break below at the end of this week, and then I'm watching to see if we reject from it next week. Because if we do see that breakdown rejection, that's a failed breakdown, and that tends to deliver some more upside. So that wouldn't be ideal for the bears. We'll see how that goes. In terms of SPX on the hourly chart, we had an RSI 5 buy signal fixed on the hourly chart, and that's now made target. So no divergence there. On the Qs, we've got an RSI 5 buy signal that's fixed and hasn't made target yet. Kind of lagging in the way that the futures are too, of course. We've got a weak RSI 14 buy signal fixed on the dire chart, and I would note we've got a pretty nice looking potential bull flag here. I've got a beautiful trend line here at the bottom. You can see just how nice that is looking at the 15-minute chart, but it is very nice. This is definitely a candidate bull flag. And in the event that we broke up and got back over the daily middle band, then of course we could see more retests of the highs, and it wouldn't astonish me to see that. While I am thinking that we're going to see a decent retracement in the next couple of months, it wouldn't surprise me if that waited until sort of late March, April, when the tariffs they're talking at the moment about putting in large amounts of tariffs. Canada, Mexico, penciled in potentially 25% for Europe in retaliation against VAT, which of course applies to everything, including imports. So I'm not quite sure how they would effectively count that as a tariff. I think these things would result in retaliation from all the countries involved, and potentially that really could sink the markets. Also, large amounts of tariffs are likely to put up inflation. That's just, that's not a political statement. That's just economics and math. It's really, it would be surprising if it didn't. So that would be likely to potentially break us up in interest rates, and there are various other things. This is going to be a big news year. This is a very, very disruptive administration, and lots of things are being disrupted. And disruption, I think, bigger picture, is good. I think the world has been on a strange path that needs to be disrupted for a long time now, decades. And when it shakes out, we may well find that we've got a better status quo has been established. But in the short term, there's going to be disruption, and that is going to be negative, potentially very negative for the markets. Now, I think we might be topping out, and we might make a big top in the next year or two. On equities. Possibly that could be behind us already, but I'm not seeing any strong indication of that, and I'm thinking things will hold together longer than that. I could be mistaken. All right, IWM. IWM daily chart, no current divergence, but I would note that on some of these we could set up some nice looking RSI 5 buy signals, but we'd need a rally and then we'd need a retest before we got that, and a decent rally and a retest. So we haven't got those at the moment. We're testing a big support level here in the 213.5 area, and I'm wondering if that could be potentially head and shoulders right shoulder here that has been completed. We will see how that goes, but we could see a breakdown from here. And of course, on SPX, just nipping back to that for a moment, I would also note that the first of I was talking about this being a nested double top. The first of those double tops, we're seeing a breakdown, and that's got a target, I think, in the 57.25 area, which potentially could get us down into the a test of the main double top support for the larger one. That could give us a really decent retracement here, and we could see that. But I'm keeping an open mind. It's best to keep all possibilities in mind. And obviously, there's been a lot of resistance to going down over the last year or two. But I think we're likely to see at least one decent retracement this year, and chances are it's going to be in the first half. All right, IWM. On the hourly chart, we've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed. We had an RSI 5 buy signal fixed, but that's already made target. We are testing this significant level. I've got 213.96 here, 213.97, which is below that at 213.49. Nice looking potential head and shoulders here. Even if I don't know, it's not ideal. I think that this right shoulder high would be coming well after this 227.18 and would be lower, which I don't particularly like. It doesn't invalidate it at all. On DAX, leaning towards seeing a retest of the high. Nikkei actually drew in the 3SD lower bands here, which I don't usually put in, just to illustrate how much this has gone down. And actually, we were testing that here as well today, which I was actually a bit surprised about. But anyway, it's as I said, this has been fairly weak for the last few weeks. So it doesn't astonish me, but I was a little surprised that the Japanese were getting that excited about this. We'll see. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX, I'm still wondering about this as a bull flag. I'm thinking that we may well be forming a double bottom, possible IHS, but a reversal pattern of some kind. And I'm looking for a break initially of this declining resistance currently in about the 106.55 area. Much more to say about this on the daily chart. ZB, I've drawn in a overall pattern here. I think this pattern may well be a bear flag setting up the next leg down. We've got a 60-minute sell signal fixed. We haven't reached an obvious trend line target at the moment. So we will see. At least I don't believe we have. Hang on, wait a second. No, we haven't. Nothing obvious. So it may well be that we go up to this trend line here, or it may be that we're not going to reach an obvious one. But let's have a look at that on the bigger picture chart. Okay, US dollar, we've now got on the daily chart an RSI 5 buy signal fix. This is pretty encouraging for a move off the daily lower band and a potential retest of this high here at 110. If we see that retest, which I'm thinking we probably will, that could be setting up the second high of a double top, or this could be breaking up and heading up towards 114.75. Obviously, we're going to have a very heavy news environment here. I think longer term, that's probably going to be negative for the dollar, but bigger picture, I'm leaning negative on the dollar anyway. The question is where we're negative from. And if we did retest this 114.75, that could set up a really nice looking double top on the bigger picture to take this down again. All right, we will see how that goes. Looking at TNX, just to remind you, we've got a bull flag here, and you can see that on the daily chart. Lovely bull flag here, broke up with the target at 49.97. When we get to 49.97, I would note that we've got a possible IHS here, which is already broken up with the target in the 8.1 area. Now, I'm thinking that when we get up to 49.97, this is a possibility we could be setting up a second high double top, but equally, it could break up. If we see tariffs go on, if we see inflation starting to take off, if we see a drop in confidence, we could see interest rates go up. And we're already seeing a significant drop in confidence just over the last month since the new administration came in. And it's not that everyone thinks their policies are a disaster, but what it is causing is a lack of confidence, confusion, a lack of clarity about what is lying ahead. And as a result, of course, when people are confident, they tend to save their money. So that enough of a lack of confidence can actually trigger a recession all by itself, without any other real factors there. So I'm wondering about this. That is a potential. I would note if we did get back to interest rates, 10-year yield of 8.1%, that would actually get us back to the 50% retracement of this huge move between 1982 and 2020. This vast bond bear market, which has now finished. So that would be a very logical area to be going to, and I'm definitely bearing that in mind. In terms of the daily chart, no current divergence, but we saw this initial move up, and I'm thinking A, B, C. Head back up to a retest of the high, and then we've got a decision to make. All right, let's have a look at CL. CL, I've actually got a decent looking channel here, but what I would say is we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed here. It may be that we're making a short-term low, and it may be that we might have a wedge here or something else, but I'm quite liking the channel. But I have a lot more to say about this on the daily chart. On NG, this still looks like a bull flag for me. All right, looking over to the bigger picture charts, on not a lot to say on CL, but on here, I would say is what this is now looking like is this is actually looking like an overall bear flag. Now, if that's the case, then we're going to come down to this support in about 68.05 area at the moment, and we're going to break down from it, and the target for that breakdown would be 65.87. But the real target for that breakdown, I think, would be a retest of this low here at 63.57. Now, what could that mean when we got down there? Well, that would be a big support level, I got to say. So, lows here, 61.74, 62.43, 63.57. this is a very significant support level. And when we get down there, given that this rally up here to 95 was a 50% retracement of this move down here from this high we made at 130.50, this could be the second low of double bottom. Now, I don't know whether with the drill baby drill and all the Trump stuff that we would have the circumstances ready for this to be the second high of a double top and move up, but I'm not seeing an awful lot of compelling reasons to think that oil is going to go down. And I would certainly be looking at that, and it would be in the mix. All right, looking at natural gas. Natural gas couldn't be clearer, really. We've got a nice-looking double bottom. I mean, when I did that post on the bigger picture, and I'm planning another one in the next 2 or 3 days, if I can manage it, so I've just been really busy. But I was thinking that we would break down, retest this low, and then we would have a nested double bottom, and then we would likely break up from it with a target here in the 575 to 6.25 area. Now, what we've done is we've done that without the last retest of the low. We've just gone up and done it directly. What are our chances of making it? Well, I'm not seeing much of a reason to think we aren't going to make it. And actually, if again, it's 50% retracement, we got up to 10.04, we then went down to 1.5. That's actually, in the 50% retracement area for a bounce. It's actually, again, it's a very rational target at the moment. I'm not seeing much reason to think it won't make target. We will see how that goes. But having got, since I started talking about this, from 2 to 4.439, the minimum target's only at 5.75. It's not that far away. Extended target is at 6.25. We will see. All right. So in the short term, no negative divergence. We got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fix, but not sure how to take it. Could this be a double top? Technically, yes. In practical terms, I'm thinking probably not. We will see. All right, great. Let's have a look at GC. Now, GC, we've got some news on here on the daily chart, but on here, we've got a very nice looking double bottom here. If we see a sustained break below this level here in about the 28.85 area, then we could see a move down into the 27.95 area. And that would get us down into this area here, which is currently occupied by the monthly pivot, but only, of course, until Friday. I think we could see that retracement here. I really think we could. And we've now got a daily sell signal fixed on gold, which I'll be coming to. Looking at the SI chart, I am wondering about a part formed head and shoulders here. If this is right, then I'd be looking for a move up into ideally about 33.25 area to make the right shoulder, and then a sustained break below 31.7 could get us down into the 28.75 area, I think. But basically back to a retest of these lows. Could we do that? Yeah, I'm thinking we could. So HG, we had a nice looking head and shoulders here, and that failed, and technically that gives us a target back up at a retest of this high. But look at the structure here. I'm wondering I'm wondering about a bear flag. Sorry, a bull flag. Wondering about maybe getting down to 430 here, and then going back up and retesting this high. We will see. That could, of course, be forming a larger high on copper, which I have to say is already fairly high by historical standards. Not so much on gold, definitely not on silver. So gold really, I think, has considerably. I think there's a lot higher this could go. Silver isn't even close to the all-time high in the 50 area. It's but HG, it's getting pretty close to all-time highs here. We will see. All right, let's have a look at those on the big picture charts. And GC, RSI 14 sell signal fixed on the daily chart. Gold, the same. We've also got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed on the daily chart there. We're testing the daily middle band at the moment. We've got a nice looking potential level bottom. Is there scope here for a decent retracement? Yes. And as I said, that could go some distance. I was thinking about the 27.85 area, and actually that would be more like 28.25 area maybe. So let's have a quick look. Bear with me a moment. So we'll be talking about support here in about the 28.75 area. Oh, okay. Well, it'd be simple enough. 27.75 area. That could get us pretty close to this rising support, which I've got currently in about the 2715 area. So one way or another, is there scope for a decent retracement here? Yes, there already was, and now, of course, we've now got these buy and sell signals fixed as well, which very much increases it. Silver, nothing on the weekly chart, on the daily chart. Could this be a flag? Yes. Could this be a head and shoulders forming? Looks less like it on the silver index chart, but definitely seeing the possibility on this one. We will see how that goes. All right, copper. Copper, we've got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and we've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. Neither of those is made target, and if this is a flag forming, A, B, C, then chances are we'd certainly make the RSI 5 sell signal target, and the RSI 14 one could wait longer, probably would make target in the longer term, but it's mainly going to be the RSI 5 sell signal I'm focused on. GDX, weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed, and the RSI 5 sell signals now reached the possible near miss target. On GDXJ, exactly the same, except here with the RSI 5 sell signal has not yet reached the possible near miss target. We will see. All right, let's have a look at the other commodities. There's not a lot to see on currencies here, apart from to say that on euro, if we are going to see a reversal back up on the X here, then we've got a nice looking little level top here, which could get us much of the way back to this low. Looking at KC, the overall bull flag setup here didn't work out. We went lower, but I would note that we've got a nice looking falling wedge from this high here, which has broken up. That could well deliver some a rally, and we've got a weak 60-minute buy signal fixed. Overall, though, this isn't a bigger picture bull flag anymore. SB, we've got a nice looking double top here, and we've got more to say on the daily chart where we've got a sell signal fixed. So I'm thinking this double top may well make target. A sustained break below the 1945 area would be looking for a target in about the 1890 area. So we will see. But that's only a relatively modest retracement. But I'm thinking we may well be seeing that next. CC, we had a move which kind of ruined my overall bull flag setup here. This could still just about be a bull flag, but I have to say I'm less confident about it than I was. We've got a 6-minute buy signal fixed here that hasn't reached the possible near miss target. On wheat, nice looking reversal here. Looks like a bull flag forming, and we've got a little potential double bottom here with a possible weak 6-minute buy signal growing. I'm thinking that might deliver. On corn, nice retracement here. Could be another bull flag forming. Soy, we are still consolidating here, but I'm wondering, there's just a feel we might be able to turn back up across the board. If we did, then we've got a nice looking double bottom here on soy. Which could take us back up into a retest of these highs. On CT, I've drawn a potential pattern to get us back into a retest of this low, which is the obvious target after this perfect bear flag channel broke down. And at the moment, I'm not seeing anything to suggest that won't make it. Lumber, we saw a nice move up here and then a very sharp spike down. 6-minute sell signals now reached the possible near miss target. I am still very much keeping an open mind. I don't have a good overall pattern set up here. I'm planning to do some more work on it. Live cattle has broken up from what could be a bull flag, but is a little steep. It might turn into a larger bull flag. We could be doing some bottoming action here, but there's not been a great deal of interest in price action on either side. Lean hogs, we've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed, and that is heading off towards the target at the moment. No obvious pattern target. All right, let's have a look at those on the bigger picture charts. KC, wondering about a move down to test this rising support trend line. I've got that in about the 3.625 area, and no current positive divergence, but it wouldn't be hard to set some up on the daily now, and we might do that. Sugar, RSI 14 sell signal fixed, RSI 5 sell signal fixed, beautiful little double top. I'm thinking that double top may well make target. Break down and make target. So this looks like it wants a retracement here. CC, no current positive divergence. This could still be a bull flag. but I'm kind of between trend lines at the moment, so I've not really got any decent trend lines to work with, so I don't have a decent pattern. On wheat, nice looking retracement here below the daily middle band. Looks like a bull flag, may see a reversal back up, no current divergence. On corn, RSI 14 sell signal fixed. We had an RSI 5 one, but that made target. Possible we are forming a larger reversal pattern here, but it wouldn't surprise me to see this go back up as well. On soy, we are in between the downside scenario, which has moved down to the 1,000 to 1,010 area, or the upside scenario, which should be a rejection back up to 1,092. Divergence doesn't really have an opinion. On cotton, we had a little, as bigger picture context is we've got an RSI 14 buy signal fixed on the daily, and we may well be forming a double bottom. Now, I was talking about the flag, and I like that. Short term, though, we did have a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed at the high. That's now played out pretty much, or at least got very close. I'm still expecting to see a retest of that low. I think there's a very decent possibility that will be the second low of a double bottom, as and when we get that. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. I will catch you guys again on Sunday, and I gotta say, so far it's been a very, very interesting year, and I think we're likely to continue to be. All right, take care, guys. Bye.